Oh, you know, at some point I'm going to figure out that that's how that works. Rexpor, the legend, hits us with the classic. Now let me just resize everything so I can actually see everything on my screen. That's sometimes a step I skip and I end up missing half my messages. Okay. Only notifications I get is low power mode turned on and low power noise volume. Base. Also, how are you? A little bit wonked out because I didn't sleep at all last night since we lost power and my UPS woke me up. But then I took a nap and the nap went for too long. And so now I'm in that weird space where you are, where you feel well rested, but almost too well rested. You know what I mean? So that's fine. I'll just let future Rocco handle it. I was almost first. Horseshoes and hand grenades, sussy. Horseshoes and hand grenades. I also bumped someone in my car today. First time I've ever done that, so that was fun. That was a good experience. Oh, gosh. Bless my heart. Bless my heart. Oh, yes, I have. Yes, I have. And as someone whose family runs a charity and so is somewhat aware of how charities should ideally function, that's messed up. That's messed up. There's no way he isn't guilty, right? At the start, I really wanted to believe that he's not guilty at all. Can I give my place to Rexport? If you like. You can always just show a game or have me look at some Grandmaster game or something, Sussy. If you'd like. I mean, giving your place to Rexport is also totally acceptable. It's whatever you want to do. Like, looking at it, the more stuff comes out, the worse it looks for him. Especially with the golf tournament stuff that's happening. Okay, go for it. The golf tournament stuff looks horrible, man. It's such a bad look. And I think... And see, now, before... I could see how it could be not an innocent mistake, per se. No, the golf tournament stuff, the newest videos that came out like yesterday or the day before. Those are what gets me. Those are what really bother me. Maybe he just didn't find the charity. That's kind of what I was thinking, right? It's like, okay, you know, there is an innocent solution. A deceptive one. What remembering Hubskirt? Also welcome, Hubskirt. There isn't a theoretical innocent solution to everything except the golf tournament stuff. The golf tournament really is what hurts and what makes me like very unhappy with the absolute state of things. We'll see though, right? I'm still waiting. While constantly name dropping charities. That is super weird. That is super weird. Again, like at best, this is highly scummy behavior. At best. But like, again, as someone whose family runs a charity, the crazy part is, like, don't mean to toot our own horn here, but like one of the principal things you think about is the ethical implications. It could be illegal, but still not giga evil, you know? It could be illegal without it being intentional, I would say. Because gross negligence is a thing. That's like a thing in law. Absolutely, yeah. I think at this point it's definitely illegal. But, you know, you're a law student, right? Gross negligence is a thing, yeah. And I think we've passed that point, like, long ago. In my unlegal opinion. Or at least it seems that we're getting pretty close to it. But I don't know if it qualifies for that? Interesting. Well, I definitely don't know. Either way, it's a crazy situation. To claim he didn't know anything about it in his family and throw his family under the bus. Okay, but yeah, but then in that case, somebody's guilty. Bishop g4. Bishop g4 is a move I want to play at some point. But I can't decide if it's better to do it to trade off this bishop for this knight and then start pushing pawns, or if I should just start pushing pawns immediately. And I think that's a pretty critical decision that will have long-term ramifications for the rest of the game. So I think I just play bishop g4 because then I have f takes g. Oh no, he can't even play h3, yeah. No, forget that. He claimed he didn't know anything until 2021, which means he's still implicit in this for 2 years. Like, that's the thing. That's why they were saying, like, the interview he did was insane, because, like, no one guilty should ever do that interview. Hey, pandas. The bishop's absolutely good long term, but I'm just threatening this. And again, this is a rated game, Void, so while I did see bishop g4, so it wasn't a problem in this case, in future, I would prefer you recommend moves after they're already, like, not a move you could play anymore. Again, this one was fine because bishop g4 was a move I've been calculating every move for the past 10 moves. But, just moving forward, you know? Come on. Where is the win? I mean, I still have this, and I'm just threatening to play some dumb knight move or something. Love Blitz time control? I hate Blitz. Blitz is the worst. Fine tune 200 and everything. Hey, that's super cool. Congrats, pandas. Yeah. So, like, even if he throws his family under the bus, to me, that's the same thing, right? Somebody was guilty of something. It's just a question of who gets to backstab who first. You know what I mean? And so at that point, I'm not going to say I don't care, but at that point, it's kind of like a done deal to some extent, in my mind. That's what I mean. Like, somebody's guilty of something now. It's bad. But again, like, from experience seeing the inside of a charity that functions and does things, and like actually, you know, donates money places. And we don't donate money places. We actually use the money for our own stuff with provable results, right? It's insane to think about, because, like, the amount of, I'm going to call it ethical stress we put to make sure we're doing everything above board is insane. That's like, I would think, because maybe that's weird, and that's not the first thing you think about running a charity, but like the first thing I always think about, and I know my parents think about a lot, is making sure we're doing everything like as well as we can for everybody involved. And it's actually difficult because you end up running into regulations where you're not allowed to say everything you want to say. Because, like, even from a marketing perspective, you want people to know exactly what they're doing to help. Because that's just, people just like knowing that. Because it's, you know, that's why they donate to charities, because they want to feel like they're helping something. And he said he only knew for 2 years. It isn't exactly, but that's my point. Like, there's no situation where he comes out of this looking spick and spam. Knight h5, what was I thinking? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Knight h5 looks real good. This f4 square just looks dominant. Yeah. No, but it's the lying thing. Like, if you say, hey, we're collecting this fund of money that don't know where we're going to donate it yet, but I'm going to do my very best to make sure it's going somewhere where it's going to make a difference, I could see someone having value in that, you know? Like, I could see the universe where someone says, yeah, I trust this guy. I want to, well, I mean, that age poorly, but I trust this guy. I want him to help me figure out where this money should go. Let's do this, right? Like, there's a universe. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a thing people do. I'm not going to say whether or not it's the best idea, but, like, regardless of how good of an idea it is, it's a thing that happens sometimes. And so, why he wouldn't, even if he was trying to scam people, like, that's what I mean. That's what's so interesting about the situation, is his actions don't make sense, even if he is trying to scam somebody. And apparently his family's super well off. It's crazy. It's the final brain cell. Oh, come on. Come on. What is that? You can't convince me that that move is okay. Like, you are materially unable to convince me that that is a good move. What's stopping him just playing like h5? Might be a dumb move because rook takes. Is it even that dumb? Forget that. Bishop h3. And then I push g4. And all my pieces just casually walk into his position. Just stroll in. I'm going for this. This looks really good. And then I play g4 next move. So that's what I found really funny shot. Is Queen e8 a thing? Queen e8 something I was considering. Queen e8, I figured he played rook takes. And so my rook doesn't get to h5. My queen doesn't get to h5. That's why I like this move, because my plan is to go g4, bishop f6, and then bishop h4. And I don't see a way you can stop that. It's a slower plan, but it looks very concrete. And if he ever takes this and my queen gets in immediately, somehow. Again, or, I mean, honestly, like h5, h4 or something, just... Oh, look at this move. What do you want to take with tough guy? If you take with rook, I take with pawn. And if you take with knight, I check first, and then I take with pawn. A little bit sneaky. Hello, pigeons. Something about Pleasers, Pro Jared, and Peanut Butter Gamer are super problematic now, and it's super sad. Really? So I didn't know about the other two being problematic. But honestly, I didn't watch them as much as I watched The Completionist. Rated games against followers? I'm playing unrated games against followers. But remember, I always start by playing one rated game, and then I play until I lose, pretty much. Is that just mate? Ooh. 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 Honestly, the Dutch, I know I'm playing it against some schmucks who don't know theory. Which, I mean, 99's, I'm a schmuck, so you're a schmuck. Is Queen d7 in the move? Queen d7 was also probably a move at some point. I was really calculating Queen d7. What was my peak rating? Like 2220 or something. Just over 2200. Also, yeah, Queen d7 was probably a move, Rizzy. During these starting time, give me a second. I'm trying to win. So what was my one bad move? f4 was bad. Okay, should I have just taken in this position? I forget. No, what should I play then? Okay, these are the positions where you go knight h5 first and you wait because he doesn't want to take you. Yeah. I forgot that in some of these lines you don't have to take or push. Because here you can go knight f4 and you can also just go g takes. And the plan is g takes, and these pawns are way stronger than they look. I probably can at some point in the future, but I'm not strong enough yet. Also, look at this game, Cormac. It's Dutch. I'm telling you, the Dutch is going well. Now, I played f4 here, which wasn't accurate, but now I get to have the funny Dutch attack. Look, it's Darth Vader. Anyway, I get to have the funny Dutch attack where I go h6, g5, bishop g4, and I just smack him. F takes. Are you in a chess club? Yeah, I'm actually coach in my chess club. I'm gonna. Knight h5. Chess.com gives you subs good amount of views in chess clubs. Well, it's not every time they do it. They do it for specific events that I know of. Okay, so knight takes e4 was better. What's the plan after queen takes? Rook f4. And then e4. Oh, okay, this also works. Yeah, I didn't see this. Because you can't take with anything, right? That's the point. And the knight can only move to e1, and that just hangs a full rook. Huh. That's so sad, Rex. So this just concretely loses a full rook, like a full rook right here. And so you're rook and 3 pawns, or an exchange and 3 pawns down as white, with also this king being a huge problem. That's kind of pretty. Okay, I didn't see that. I played knight h5, which can't be that bad. I mean, come on. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, fellas. Bishop h3. I don't think this was best either, but this was just very concrete. And after g4, actually, queen d7 was a move. Rizzy, yeah. Rizzy was right. This is absolutely moving. You're just getting mated. I wasn't sure what happened after this, but I forgot that this was checkmate. That's what I missed in my calculation, if I'm being honest. But yeah, queen d7 is absolutely a move, and you're just out of options. As I actually never watched any Star Wars content. That makes sense. I can respect that. I think there is some stuff worth watching, but I respect joining as Rizzler. Okay, there's someone named Rampage Rizzy, and I called him Rizzler by accident because I forget all the Riz-based slang. Rubus mate, yeah, pretty much. But bishop f6. I mean, this is pretty concrete as well. He'd ask to go rook takes, and then after pawn takes, I like king h2. I was going to play bishop g5, and this is completely dominant. I knew queen d7 was a move. Oh yeah, well, you're absolutely correct. Either way, this kind of shows the power of the Dutch, right? Even though I'm bad and I played a number of terrible moves, even though I played terrible chess, still I got this huge kingside attack and just threw pieces at him, and it worked. And I missed mate like twice, and again, so even with that level of smooth-brainedness, I still managed to get a big kingside attack and just kill him. Which, I mean, just shows why I'm starting to learn the Dutch. How's it going in Macedonia? Good. I accidentally bumped someone's car and scratched it today, but it's fine. He was friendly. It had to happen at some point. I'm a beginner driver, you know what I mean? It's gotta happen. Violence! No, I can respect not seeing Star Wars stuff. Wait, is it real 3D? Which 3D was this again? Which 3D was this again? It was real 3D, right? Well, see, he redeemed a channel point for this rampage. So that's the problem. Oh, this is terrible. I forgot how horrible this was. It's fine. I'll gain elo even in these conditions. It's not that much harder. It's all just piece visualization. If you can recognize the pieces, then you're golden. And I can recognize the pieces, so I think I'll be fine. Like, you could play with letters on a board, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't fundamentally change much about chess itself once you get to the point where you intuitively understand the pieces, which isn't that high up of a point. I'm pretty sure I play c4 anyway in these lines. I forget these lines exactly. I forget, like, exactly what I'm supposed to do here. But I'm fairly certain I just play something along the lines of this, and I'm totally okay. And then the plan is e4, and I take this pawn. And I could play blindfolded? Yeah. Now, blindfolded's different, because you don't see the pieces at all, right? Blindfolded I can play, but I'm far weaker when playing blindfolded. But something like this isn't blindfold. It's obviously, like, not ideal, but... Obviously, it's not ideal, but it's, you know, it's whatever. I'm going to play h3. No reason to allow the bishop to go to g4, which is where it wants to go. Yeah, it's just disgusting. It's just aesthetically displeasing. Thank you, Godel. You think it's possible to play chess without sound? No. No. That's definitely not possible. I don't know how much experience you have with chess, Mr. Blue, but if you had any experience whatsoever, you would know that the tactile feedback of the board scratching against the board is the most important part of chess. Everybody talks about tactics this or positional chess that, but nobody really gets it. Oh yeah, it's just ugly. It's just, but that's like they're doing like a weird mix of low poly and high poly. Like I would rather them just do a really low poly, like a PS1 graphics, and try to make it look good. I'm just letting him take the bishop. Maybe it's dumb, but my logic is this bishop's terrible because I have a bunch of pawns in the center. So. Trying to beat a 1000 elo player blindfolded. That sounds about right. I'm 2000 rapid. I could beat a 1000 blindfolded. I think the conclusion I came to after trying a few things out was I can beat like a 1400 blindfold, 1500. Can you hear the music? Oh, that's the best song of the movie, which is a high bar considering that movie had an amazing soundtrack. This might be a problem. Correction, this is a problem. You know what? Let's trade off some pieces. Queen d2? Queen d2 is also probably a move. So I have the knights here, which I kind of like the knights, not gonna lie. However, this is annoying. This is annoying. I want to play here, but then queen c3 is a little bit frustrating. No, but then I go back. I like my odds in an endgame. That's why I'm kind of pushing for this. Horsies. True. I absolutely need noise when I play jazz. Again, it looks also play listening to Tibetan jazz throat singing. Why did I pronounce it jazz? Anyway, no, I definitely play much better with music. That's not a question. That's not a question. This position's a little bit annoying. Why not rook c1? Rook c1 is also possible, but I want to be able to play f4 when he plays knight e5, because I feel like if I play rook c1, then he goes rook b8, and he's going to play rook b4. And so here I was hoping, I mean, it transposes. I was going to go for the same move order, but I was hoping to do something like this, and maybe with a4 included if he lets me, but the problem is rook b2. Very frustrating position. I'm going to blame it on the pieces, but that is pure cope. Do not listen to me. Yeah, it's these pieces, man. I can't do anything with these pieces. F4's not move up to rook c1. My knight's on f3. Rook b4 is very annoying. My intention was knight c3, and maybe I can hold on to something here. Because he can't exactly play bishop takes, I don't think, because I have a3, right? Right. Man, I'm just a tempo late in all lines. See, this is a good example of when the knights don't work. I'm going to go to knight a5 to play knight c6. That gives him rook b4, though. I guess rook b4 isn't that bad. I play knight d6. He takes. And then I play knight b5. Yeah, I think that's best. It's not good, but it's probably best. That vaccine is going to get you banned. Yeah, Void, you gotta stop, man. I'm still playing rated. Thankfully, I wasn't reading any of it, but... This one rated? Yeah, I play rated until I lose. That's the way we do it. And then when I lose, we switch to the viewer games. You know, I want to be goofy silly, and I want to go rook d1. Trying to bait him to take on f2. And if he takes on f2, I go rook f1, and then when he retreats the knight, I go knight c6. And I try to, like, prove some sort of weirdness. That's my plan. It's a bad plan, to be fair, but it is, in fact, a plan. Can I play knight d1? Follows my knight. Doesn't my knight get trapped on f2? Doesn't look like it. I can also just take here and go for knight b5. That's probably not bad. I'm going to go for this. It's a little bit cowardly, but I think it's good. Silliness inbound? For sure. Sorry left you here to die, but how's your death sentence going? Yeah. My death sentence definitely is going. I'm not even sure which knight I should try to bring to b5. Position is not clear to me. This is definitely very bad for me, but maybe I can hold on through blood, sweat, and memes. Oh, that's an annoying move. Because his intention is to trade off rooks and then push the pawn. And I don't think I can stop it. I don't think I did. Man, and this is the problem. This is, well, not this is the problem. This is a problem. One of the principal problems with being rated 2200 is the fact that I lost 1-1-1, but I'm going to be -4 elo. He's got 6 minutes on the clock. There's no... What? What? Why? 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 Where are the space pieces? I swear, the organization of the pieces in this menu are terrible. I'll just play glass. I'll do the Hikaru special. Why? Like, I didn't even play that difficult chess of him to beat. He just needed to do, like, anything but that. Oh, here, there. Maybe he miscalculated the king and pawn endgame and thought he was close enough. But he is close enough to stop this pawn, but he's not close enough to stop the a pawn. Oh, yeah, see that? No, free elo. We keep playing. We keep going. We keep going. We keep winning. Haters in shambles. The haters. The haters. The haters, guys. They don't know what to do. I was at plus 12? Because I won that game, sussy. And because the first game was only plus 5. Again, you don't gain that much elo anymore when you get higher rated because there aren't that many people over 2200 playing chess. Unfortunately. What is bro cooking? He's spending a lot of tempi going on a magical journey with his knight. Is he trying to play knight b4? I've seen that as an idea and it works sometimes, but I don't think this is one of those times. No, he's going knight b6. He really can he? That looks incredibly sus. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. I really don't. I don't trust that one iota. Send the message to previous pawn, ask us if he's okay. No, that would just look like I was taunting him, which I don't want to look like I'm taunting him because I don't. That would be a little toxic. Sus sussy sus among us. He ha hu ha ho mong imposter. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much what you just said there. That's exactly what I was thinking. Hee hee ha. In what context, Void? The twin knight? Yeah, this is not correct. There are some lines where you go for this idea, but this isn't one of them because it's just too slow. Galloping and nothing, that's true. Because now you play knight takes and then queen takes, and you really haven't proved a point. Because normally, like, you want to try and threaten b5. Often you don't play it, but you at least want to threaten it, you know? And make it seem like you're going to play it. Because then I have to deal with it. I have to play, like, a4. I have to play, like, other moves. And I have to, you know, try and prove that it's something that doesn't work or works or whatever. I have to, you know, make it seem like a game of chess. What's his plan? Queen d3? Queen d3 doesn't even work. I don't know what he's cooking. Is his plan Queen d3? Queen d3 doesn't make a lot of sense, but I could see him playing it. I want to know what I do if he does it. I mean, I am just up a pawn in that position. I could just take this. And if he takes here immediately, then play rook d1. Interesting idea. I guess I could play b4 first, and then rook d1. Taking this just looks kind of like a free pawn. I mean, I could take here, and then after queen takes pawn, go like knight f3, and try to say, hey, what are you doing? You're bringing your queen into the position way earlier than it needs to be. And then, like, where does he retreat his queen to? I just play rook d1 afterwards. That actually looks really good. That's very greedy. You know what? You can keep the pawn. You know what? You can keep the pawn. I don't even want it. Just a preference, like who's more attractive? Well, define your terms. Because that's a clip waiting to happen. Not that I'm saying that you're going, I'm just saying, you know. Look at how much activity I have here, man. Like, maybe there's nothing, but I haven't thought about it a lot, if I'm being honest. I am 21. Like, look at all this. Look at all of it. It's like, it's aesthetically, like, why can't I play, like, this is almost a good move. Not quite, but almost. I don't have an exclaim H command, but no, I do look older than I am, but I am actually only 21. See, if I play rook d1, which is the move I want to play, I feel like it gets queen b3, and I'm not sure what I have to compensate. Maybe I play rook queen d2, but I'm not threatening anything. So my plan is just go rook c1. If he goes queen b3, just take on c4. And just say, okay, well, I've got my pawn back, and I've got a lot of development. My pieces are very good. Which they are. Beard carries. It does carry. Nobody expects to have a beard at 21. You look 23? Well, I'm going to be turning 22 in March, so... You don't look a day over 74? Why, thank you, Cormac. Nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Yeah, the hair also helps. Yeah, so my intention here was just to go knight takes and say, okay. And, I mean, if knight takes, he has to play queen, he has to take my queen. And after rook takes, like, this, I was just like, okay, I've got a ton more development. 5 minutes to lose a pawn? I did not lose a pawn. Well, first off, he just gave me his queen. Why do my opponents keep giving me their queen? Why? Why do they keep doing this? I'm not complaining, but like, why? Why? It happened again. If this is all it takes to gain Elo at 2100, then I think we're golden. Congratulations. You played yourself. I told you that was a good plan. Never in doubt. What is going on today, guys? We've entered the Twilight Zone or something, man. I don't know. What's the downside of f3 in traditional setups? The downside of f3 is no knight f3 and also weakening of the h file. So theoretically, I'd want to push e5 sooner. Or like c5 or something. I don't know. She's... Is d6 move in the Dutch? Yes. It's very often move in the Dutch in general, and also specifically in the Leningrad, which is what I'm playing. They're bumping up your stream tile score? Hey, I appreciate it. They are helping out the content. They are helping out the content. So I'm not going to take that. I don't think there's any reason to. Maybe I should, but I just don't. I don't see it. Because like here, I think I just takes, queen takes d1. Here, my plan was bishop takes. And it looks like I'm getting everything I ever wanted. Queen c1 looks almost like a move. I don't really want to play that, so. I'm just going to play rationally. I'm going to take in castle and say, what are you doing, fam? e5 looks scary. e5 is the move I want to play. Absolutely. But I'm waiting for the perfect moment to play it. It's not a move I want to rush. I mean, I might be able to play it right now and go like knight g5. I don't think it works. I'm just going to go knight c7. It was a palindrome number. True, I should have kept it. That's why my opponents are giving me elo. It's because they know that the true victory is having a palindrome number. And I don't have a palindrome number anymore, therefore I'm losing. I want to give him the pawn. But I don't have anything good to play with my knight afterwards. I don't have a good discovery. So I won't. I'll just go back and play like knight f5. My FIDE, I don't have FIDE number as a command. Everyone keeps it's so interesting. It's the best way to get ideas for what commands to have on stream is just to like let people try and input commands. 2222 would be amazing. I don't think I've ever hit 2222. I think 2118 or something along those lines was my highest. So 2222 would definitely be pretty epic. I mean, I've got to prefer my position here, right? Really? I've hit the 2131? Wow. Not sure about Leningrad. My classical meet the early f3, queen c2. With an immediate d5, just jumping ship and not along the massive center. I almost played d5. d5 was my second choice. I just wasn't sure, and so I went for something that looked principled. I appreciate you waiting, though, and telling me afterwards. I definitely think he could have pressed harder in the opening. Like, I don't think he should have taken. I think there was no reason for him to take. I think he just sits and he waits. I don't think there was any reason to do anything else. It's not intentional. I'm just one, bad at blitz, and two, don't play it. Black looks comfy. I am comfy, but it's not immediately obvious what my next move is. So I'm comfy. I'm comfy cozy, but I don't see how I can continue to better my position. I'm considering h6, and then, but after h6, I don't know what I play. I guess it forces the bishop back, but is the bishop being forced back productive? I could go here and just trade it to an endgame where I will never be worse. I guess I'll just do that. I guess I'll just trade into an endgame. There's no universe where I'm worse after all this happens. No way, right? That's an interesting move. Huh. It's interesting. So if I take here, he plays knight takes, right? And then if I take here, he plays knight takes as well. I think this is still a benefit to my position, though. Because this knight on f6 wasn't really doing much. And now if I can get like a knight to d4... Maybe that's more of a weakness than the strength, but it looks super strong. Or no, he took with pawn? It took me a moment to register that because it just didn't seem very natural to me. Okay. I'll play this endgame. I don't see anything better. I have some weaknesses, and so I feel like if I try to do anything that pushes for anything more than a simple equal result, then I might end up getting a far worse position. And so I think I'm just going to trade down, especially since I'm lower on time. I don't love... I was looking at knight b4 for white after trading queens. Knight b5. That doesn't look too scary, though. I mean... Trade queens and knight b5. You might be able to go for it, but I think I get a passer there, which is compensation enough. Plus, I don't need to trade queens. I could also just play g takes f immediately, and go for an attack. Like here, if takes, I could play g takes, and then go king h1, rook g, king g8, rook g8, and play for like a goofy attack. I think I take with bishop here. That looked better. Is your chat more important than chess rapid rating? They're very close in importance. They're very near. It's a very close one. Really? Oh, I was under the impression that didn't work. The discoveries are kind of scary, but I always have queen g6. Maybe the point is he plays like queen f3 afterwards? That doesn't make sense. Maybe he goes queen h4. I'm going to take it by the horns. It looks like a draw to me too, but I'll play it. I have won many drawn positions and lost many drawn positions. So I'm not a huge believer in draws. He's got no scary checks? I don't think so, but queen h4 I think is his next move. That's what it, but even queen h4 I don't fully understand. I feel like h6. I don't know. I don't know. It looks like a draw still. I'm not sure what he's cooking though. Queen g6 is my next move if I'm ever scared of anything. Queen h4 not scary? I'm not afraid of queen h4. No way. The closest thing I am to afraid of anything is I'm a little wary of maybe some sort of like weird infiltration here, and he gets his queen into some of these weak light squares and starts giving me a million checks. That looks kind of difficult to deal with. But I'm not even sure I'm afraid of that per se. It's just I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, so his point that he wants to go rook d, bishop d1. That looks like his point. Four minutes enough to draw? Oh, for sure. But I'm not playing for a draw. I'm playing for a win. It's a drawn position, but you can play for wins in drawn positions. That's what I do. I'm going to take here first. Because I think he exposes a weakness no matter which way he takes back. You see what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm out of line, but... it's not the simplest thing on the planet. Complicated position. I think I messed up. This is not looking so hunky-dory anymore. Not looking so hunky-dory anymore. Time is also becoming an issue now. Time pressure is intense. At this point, my primary goal is to prevent any super meaningful, dangerous infiltration. If he takes, it's definitely a draw. Right? Maybe not. Hold on a second. Maybe I shouldn't have taken. This is a really hard position to calculate. I'm having a lot of trouble here. Just from a visualization perspective. Oh, I think I let him have queen d8. Idiot. This is what I mean, it's hard. Idiot, I gave him queen d8 on a silver platter. No, this passer was the big problem. Now I'm losing. I'm completely losing. Hey. Hey, Mr. Opponent Man. Now would be a pretty cool time to, you know, blunder your queen. That'd be a pretty gamer. Ugh, such an ugly position. I think it's nearly forced mate, or at least it was nearly forced mate. Oh, such an ugly position. Such an ugly position. You gotta try, you know, but yeah. There's simply nothing to do. Wait, I need to Google her name, Explore. What is she in? I've seen none of these movies. Do I know her from anything? I don't think I've seen a single movie she was been in. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Ah. Okay, let's update the elo. I gained some elo back, to be fair. I'm 6 elo positive. There is nothing we can do. Somebody play the Napoleon music. Yeah, I don't like it. Never seen Baywatch. So it looks like G6, F3, D6 is the second most popular move. D5 is not played here as much, it looks like. And it looks like it scores pretty well for white. I mean, maybe this is playable too, but this looks perfectly playable. I don't know. I'll look into this afterwards. I'm sure I have prep for this. 9 plus 10. Or is my friend wonder if she's actually a good actress? She's in a radioactive song? What? Aren't you facing a lot of cheaters at this high level of rapid? I don't know, maybe. I try not to think about it. Fubs. I might be, but my philosophy from this perspective is I'm trying to improve at chess, not necessarily gain elo. And so even if I'm facing a cheater, I can at least learn. But I have faced cheaters, but I don't think I faced too many. I'm gonna play some music. I do have music prep. I haven't set up the whole music thing because I'm trying to pivot away from using Apple Music on my streams because it's annoying and I hate it. And I have all the MP3s. I just need to get them in order. I have it already. It's very close. I just need another like hour or two of work on it. All the movies I mentioned are bad. Yeah, so like that's one of the weird things. It's like you got some people can be in bad movies and be a good actor. I mean, I know Nicolas Cage has also been in good movies, but Nicolas Cage has been in a lot of bad movies, and I would say he's quite a good actor, one of the better ones. This was all fine. A6 was the mistake. What should I have played instead? Like Queen F7? No, not Queen F7. What's the move here? B6. I have to prevent C5. I let him play C5. That's what the problem was. We have get bad roles in bad movies. Yeah, I guess you never know, right? That's one of the great tragedies is you got to think about how many good actors are only in bad movies for one reason or another. Yeah, so B6 is the move. B6, or I can play Queen B1 and then B6. I just have to play B6 because I have to prevent C5. I missed the idea of C5 completely because I thought that one of the pawns would hang after C5, but it doesn't. So I missed C5 completely, and because I missed C5, I ended up giving him everything he ever wanted. I'm so bad with actors' names. I wouldn't say Brendan Fraser was one of them. Was The Mummy bad? I don't think I've ever seen the original Mummy. Oh yeah, no, I do know Matthew McConaughey. Wait, he was only in bad movies at the start? He's in Inception, which, I mean, it's my favorite movie of all time, so. I'm trying to think. I'm looking through all of his older movies. I haven't seen any of them, which is the problem. Yeah, none of these look... I don't think I've heard any of these until it keeps going. I guess The Wolf of Wall Street is considered a good movie, ain't it? Bad, not silly, just a lot of difficult just quality of an actor. They are. They really are. But then he went in a lot of good stuff. And he was in a ton of good stuff. And now it's one of the points where if I see him as an actor for a movie, I'm like, oh, let's go. It's Sussy Frog, which means it's Rexport, because Mr. Frog of the Sussy variety willingly gave up his turn. So yeah, I do need to bring back the music though. I was going to do it today, but then I got distracted. Give me the next person up. Okay, if you say so. It's interesting. Because, you know, actors, we like to think about actors as existing in a vacuum, and they really don't, like anything else, you know what I mean? A good actor with bad direction and a bad script, my favorite movie is Jumanji, honestly kind of based. I wouldn't call it the best movie of all time. It's a little B movie, but to be fair, Star Wars Episode 4 is a little B movie. And by little B movie, I mean a lot B movie. You ever go back and watch Star Wars Episode 4? I think the budget was $3 and a stick of gum. It's very funny. Right? Oh, no. You're preaching to the choir on that one, Rexport. But Robin Williams Robin Williams is an amazing actor, Rizzy. So, like, you've already kind of got me on that one. I'll shake, you know? Just, if nothing else, for Robin Williams. But the movie does have its own benefits outside of Robin Williams. Okay, so usually the theoretical issue with playing the Yugoslav against the accelerated dragon is I get to play d5, right? And the point is I'm a tempo up. In the normal dragon, I have to play d6, and then after d6, I play d5. And so because of that, there's weird tactics. However, in this position, I am simply a tempo up as compared to the mainline dragon. And in the mainline dragon, it's like unclear. So in this position, I would just pretty convincingly prefer the black pieces. D takes, knight takes, queen takes, then like bishop takes, b takes, and then knight takes, pawn takes, and you've got this position. It's the most drawish thing of all time. I am also in that movie. I am also in that movie. Same. No, she did I haven't seen her in like anything else, but in Blade Runner she was amazing. She did a really good job in Blade Runner, so I could see that, honestly. We got an actor here? No, you don't understand, Rizzy. You don't understand. The main character of Blade Runner 2049 is literally me, right? It's not, no, it's not like an actor. It's literally me, you know? It's just literally me. So like that's why it's usually not recommended to play this very standard setup. Now you see your opponent has no idea what he's doing, so he played d6. She can act, you know. And your opponent played d6. This is why knowing your opening ideas is so important. In the dragon, the only reason you play d6 is to threaten knight g4. It's Ryan Gosling, yeah. It's Ryan Gosling. It's a Ryan Gosling joke. Because Ryan Gosling is the main character of Blade Runner 2049, and Ryan Gosling is literally me. You know, it's the whole, you know, he's me for real. Like the long lost cousin of the Sigma Ennets. Like if you look up on Google and go, he's literally me. Right? Just let's show this off real quick. Literally me, Ryan Gosling. Literally me, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling. Don't know. It's going to be Ryan Gosling. There's Ryan Gosling in here somewhere. Ryan Gosling again. Right. Anyway. Bishop e3, knight f6, f3. So yeah, your opponent doesn't know this, because from the black perspective, the reason I play d6 is so I can threaten knight g4 and force you to play a little bit faster. In the accelerated dragon, you can play, the move order is super important. Right? If we go back, if I play like knight f6 in this line, then then there's some weird move order stuff when knight takes c6. But if we go to a more typical accelerated dragon, which is like, I think g6 here is like the typical proto accelerated dragon, and we like transpose. The problem is that by delaying some of these moves, if I delay knight f6, I allow c4. If I play knight f6 now, and then go like bishop g7, then I allow e5. And so if I play knight c6 right now, then we can play bishop e3, and after bishop g7, I can play bishop c4 directly as white, because you're not threatening knight g4, which means I don't have to waste a tempo playing f3 when I want to play f4 in the future. Wow. So the thing is, by playing d6, I mean, white has to waste a tempo playing f3. But if you don't, then you don't have to waste a tempo playing f3, and you get a much more immediate attack. Now, this isn't good, but you can bring the bishop back to f3, you play queen e2, just castle. And you get to just more immediately go for your plan that you want to go for. Now, that's the thing about the accelerated. In the regular dragon, after d4, takes, knight f, you don't get time for c4, and then after knight f3, g6, bishop e3, bishop g7, you don't have, if you play something like bishop c4, then I get knight g4, because now the bishop guards the knight because I move the d pawn. My plan in the dragon is always to play d5. I always want to play d5, and if I could play d5, I'm equalized. Maybe better. But the problem is that playing d5 is kind of difficult, because you play f3 here, and then we play our normal mainline dragon. But d6 and f3 are both included. Now, the issue here is if we go back to the game, you know, something society, Rex. So if we go back to the game, f3 is not a move you need to play here as white. right? You don't need to play f3 because there's no threat of knight g4. After d6, you need to play f3. But right now, there's no knight g4, so you don't need to waste a tempo. So f3 wastes a tempo. Just like g4 ideas? Well, then just play g4. Again, you can't stop g4 right now. You can play g4 without f3 because the bishop isn't attacking that square. There's not two pieces on that square. There's only one, so the queen is enough defense. Now, you can't do it right now because there's like weird... he can take on d4. But my point is, you don't need f3 to play g4 either. You can play g4 without knight f3. So just bishop c4 is more principled. And you play it like a normal dragon. And now d5 is a pawn sack, right? Something I'm Patrick Bateman, sure. But what happens is after f3, castles queen d2, now I can play d6 and we transpose to a main line, or I can get d5. And now we are in a mainline dragon. Can you play mitten spot? Can you put back? If for your turn, I can, if you'd like, Rizzy. Exclam, join the queue, and then for your turn, I'll play mittens instead of whatever else. Anyway. And now after d5, this is a dragon, except I've skipped playing d6. I played d5 directly, so I'm one tempo. And in the dragon, one tempo is a lot. Big deal. And so now, if we look at this position, it's 000s at best. Now, your opponent played d6, because I'm not sure how much he knows of this. Castles. a6. I'd say it's good, but I like 2049 better. It's got some really fire scenes in it, though, Rexpo. Back with the singular elo. Based mittens. And now a6 is too slow. a6 is too slow. If very concretely, a6 is a bad move. Bishop c4. Just kill him. Just kill him. He's off here going on a magical journey. Kill him. What's he gonna do? Kill him. He deserves death. As soon as black wastes a tempo in the dragon, you kill him. You can also play viewers? Oh no, I absolutely can play viewers. I only grind until I lose at the start of a stream as kind of warm up, and then I play viewers. So I'm playing viewers right now, or rather, Void wanted me to analyze his game instead of playing him. I like that Gosling is depressed and that's super relatable. Yeah, but it's the why he's depressed. That movie is so good. I have it as my second best movie of all time. That's Blade Runner 2049 is a masterpiece. Anyway, you kill him, and he dies. And maybe you go knight f5. Maybe you go bishop c4 now. I don't know. Depends on how goofy silly you feel. Bishop h6 is a problem because of bishop takes d4. And you get two pieces for the bishop, and it's like, okay. You get two pieces for the rook, and it's kind of a problem. Now, maybe you have an attack here, but I don't have to take that. Maybe 3 for me. Number 3. Whoa. So wait. It's Ratatouille, Pulp Fiction, Blade Runner, right? Because Pulp Fiction was the other one, right? It's not exactly GG's here, Mr. Rizzy. You got to be super precise in these lines. Because how exactly do you break through? If you move the bishop, then now I take the rook. Because you're not threatening anything anymore. And if you move the rook, then now I can play queen a5. And it's like, okay, you have the h-file, but you also don't have anything else developed. Scott Pilgrim. Ah, Scott Pilgrim. Ooh, I didn't know Scott Pilgrim was that high. I should have known, but I didn't. Black gets his play. So, a6, he wastes a tempo, kill him for it. Bishop c4 kind of justifies this idea by letting him play b5 with tempo at some point. Maybe after taking. And now you've kind of justified his idea. You've kind of made him look like he knows what he's doing. Now he plays knight d7, which is also a bad move. Yes, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. Kill him. a6 is a normal idea, but it's too slow. He doesn't have time for it. That's why you have to play d5 now. Is because in this line, white's already fully castled and defended, so he can just go for the attack now. He doesn't need to play another move. If you want to, you can play bishop c4, but you don't have to. How many years you play chess? Like Babach. I feel like I recognize your name. Anyway, like 6. No, more than that, 7. But I've only been taking it seriously for the past few. Yeah, it's neat. I need to watch that movie at some point, man, because I really liked Baby Driver. I wasn't like a best move of all time sort of thing, but it was just really cool for what it was. And I can appreciate that. H4, knight c5. Yeah, black is playing way too slow. Black is playing positional chess in the dragon. You can't do that. You have to play for the crazy attack. Bishop b3, knight f6, knight d5. Knight d5's fine. It's good. Just kill him. Oh, sky high? That is also based. Sky high goes hard. Not gonna lie, has aged a little, but it does go hard. Kill! Kill! Exactly. Just kill him. Just kill him. He spent a billion moves moving his knights back and forth. He's basically like throwing tempi at you. He deserves to die. And so again, knight here is not bad. It's perfectly good, perfectly reasonable move. But you could just go for it now. You know, you just the time. It's like normally you have to play more preparatory moves, but you've already played the preparatory moves and black's been doing nothing. Like Bishop h6 now? Yes. Bishop h6, because he's wasted a million temp and he's not threatening anything in the center. There's no d5. There's no like weird knight takes knight. There's nothing. You can just play bishop h6. It's not even necessarily the best thing of all time, but so you can play h5, you can play g4 to play h5, and so the timing is right. Again, it's all about timing in the trick. Knight d5 is perfectly reasonable. Should be 3, queen c7, h5, perfect. This again, this is also winning for you, but you know, bishop d7. Whoa! This is what happens when you have an accelerated dragon player play the classical. Is they just self-destruct because they try to play slow chess. H takes, F takes, bishop takes e6. The pin is stronger than the attack. Like, if he wants to take you, and then play like king h8, you can just, first off, this probably works. First off, you can probably just sack a rook. And so then he has to go like knight f7. And worst case scenario, you go 2 pawns up into the endgame. Best case scenario, you just kill him. So the pin is stronger than the attack. The threat is stronger than the attack. He has to do something now. If he plays bishop takes, then this bishop is the strongest piece on the board. And if he doesn't play bishop takes, you take something with check. Like, what is he going to do? Knight f7 takes... Again, take it with knight first is better. Taking with bishop first is also very good. But, you know... You know you've got a good position when it's only an exchange, right? But now he gets like some fake activity. Either way, so knight takes is preferred. Now take on h7. My man! Let's go! I was just looking for a slow win. Yeah. Bishop takes f8. Wonderful. Queen h6. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very flashy. I like it. So yeah, you simply play better chess than your opponent. Both of y'all's timing was a little bit off, but Black's timing was way more off. He was not on the ball. Ain't that just the truth? Those bishops kill everybody. Those bishops kill everybody. Divine knight takes, bishop takes. Yeah, so very good. Good principled chess, very in line with the ideas of the dragon. Bishop c4 wasn't even bad. Like, bishop c4 is still better for white. Still a very good move. It's just, you know, you could have killed him faster. But, man, he just wasted way too many tempi. He was just allergic to tempi, man. So, yeah, good games. Good game on your part. Think the knight-bishop debate is over? What debate? Bishop is the clear winner. Mad cap. The levels of cap. The levels of cap are infinite. The bishop is not the clear winner. Anyone who tells you that is a propagandist. Snipers are better than shotguns? Depends on the game. Or unless we're talking in real life. And in real life, yeah, but you'll get arrested for owning a sniper rifle. Meanwhile, shotguns, you just gotta be careful not to sell them off too much. You know what I mean? So it's like... Okay. Sure. I don't think... Can you legally own a sniper rifle? Oh, no, never mind. I take it back. Sniper rifles are available to civilians. Cool. Well, I know what I want for Christmas. Anyway. Yeah, but here's the thing. Sniper rifles might be better than shotguns, but shotguns can't shoot through walls. In chess, the sniper can shoot through walls. Not the sniper. The knight can shoot through walls. So if a shotgun could shoot through walls, then it's like, okay, it depends on the situation. Maybe, you know, if it's close quarters, I would prefer the shotgun that can shoot through walls. However, in a wide open field, I'll take the sniper rifle. So, if the knight couldn't jump over other pieces, then you'd be correct. Well, let's just make it thin enough. No, it can shoot through, like, full brick walls. It could shoot through, like, reinforced steel. It could shoot through tanks. It could shoot through anything. Like, it will just phase through it until it hits your desired target, and it will kill them. And the sniper rifle cannot. In chess, the snipers are not armor piercing. Whoa, hold on a second. G4. What a Cormac move G4 is. I know it's theory, but come on. The Shirov Gambit. To be fair, this is a lot of activity. And who needs the G-pawn if you're going to castle queenside anyway, right? Bye, Void. I'm only half American Rizzy, so I don't know my guns that well. 6. See, this is what happens. Bishop B3. Yeah, I see what the computer's saying. The computer's saying Queen D2 is better because he's not meaningfully threatening to play B5 because the rook would be hanging, right? So you don't need to play Bishop B3 yet. And Knight B6 also is not a threat. So he's not meaningfully threatening anything with that move, and so it's better to go for your normal development plan and then go for the goofy stuff rather than just play a little slower. Okay. D takes Queen E2. Now B5 is a threat, but... Ooh. And now it's over. It's over, guys. It's so over. Man, I turned down the floor heating in my room. It's too warm in here. B4, knight takes E5. And now, immediate threat, if you take this, is just bishop takes F7 and immediate death. Okay. But what happened in the game, he did take it? Wait, why'd you play knight takes C6? Cormac, bishop takes F7. Why? And now if you want to play knight takes C6, be my guest. But now it's with check. Now it's all with check. Come on. Bishop F7 is so pretty. Maybe you don't even take on C6, but like taking on C6 must be good. Maybe you just like say, I'm going to checkmate you. Now die. It's psychotic. Yeah, so knight takes c6 first, though. Definitely still very good for you, but now it, like, lets him pretend to have play. What? I thought you were going to play knight takes b8. Evidently, bishop takes f7 is forced mate. I can't see that. I am not a good chess player. I was just thinking you were going to go for, like, this, and then go queen b, maybe not queen c4 here, and then go, like, bishop d4, and just say, okay, your king's stuck in the center for the rest of the game, bub. Good luck with that. Have fun. That's what I thought. I maybe e5 at some point. And, like, you just say, okay, you're going to die. Because, like, there's no way black can hold this down. He's not even up any meaningful amount of material. There's no way. The pieces are too strong. So I thought that was the plan, because bishop takes f7 is a little difficult to find in blitz. It's one of those moves that you kind of just play without calculating it, because it looks so good, but it's difficult to concretely calculate. But the point is, it's forced mate. And if he goes knight d5, then the same thing happens. It's forced mate. So bishop takes f7 is forced mate, but I didn't expect to see that. But I just, queen c4 allows rook b3. And he's given some material back, but in return, now whose pieces are active? Knight d4, and after the queen trade, like, this endgame must be better for black, just because of the two pieces. Now your opponent's playing very slow, but you should still be okay. Castles. And he blunders knight e7 check. Oh. How does this happen to us, Cormac? We play well, then we play garbage, and then our opponent blunders a piece. I mean, hey, we take those. And now it's just chilling. What a crazy series of events. Kaiser always prevails. Evidently, something always somethings. Something always somethings. I'm not sure if prevailing is the something I'm going to go for here, but who is Josh? Have I missed many brilliancies today? I'm going to say yes, but the real answer is no, and my opponent just gave me queens like a billion times. Who is X Josh? X Josh 2008X. What a classic name that is. The vibes. The vibes presented by that name are immaculate. We got a Magnus Sicilian. Oh, okay. I'll play you after this then. We got a Magnus Sicilian. Let's go. Let's go. I love this line. He's going to be shook by the main line. Everybody always is. Look at this line. I mean, how goofy is this? I love this position. Exactly. The reverse Botez gambit. Will I play bishop d3 or my gambit? We'll find out. I don't think he knows his theory. I'm going to be honest. Nobody knows their theory for this line. It's so cool. That looks incredibly suspicious. That looks like crazy suspicious. Cray cray sus. Nobody's ever ready for this line. I'm telling you. It's because it's not even the main line. It's like the second line down. It's the best feeling in chess. Unironically, the best feeling of chess when you get to play an obscure counter to an obscure line and murder somebody with it. I guess he's going bishop knight g5. I don't even think I'd take that. I think knight g5 is probably well met by queen a5. It's knight f6, knight f3 is definitely very bad. I don't know if it's a blunder, but it's definitely very bad. Me and Cormac have played this line a billion times. So many times. Hello, Shaws. My first gut instinct is like queen a5, and I just take on g5, and then take with queen. And I say, okay, you've got nothing. I think it slightly beats it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe this at all. But I'm just trying to figure out how exactly to capitalize. Because to be fair, these lines aren't obvious. What you do isn't obvious here. I'm strongly considering just playing d5. d5 looks really good. Might be a little speculative, but because bishop f5 is and bishop f5 and bishop c4 looks a little weird. And so if I can just play d5 and not even let him get bishop c4, it just looks so good. Bishop g4 is sometimes a move, but I think it's well met by h3 in this position, which is why I'm not exactly excited for it. Knight g4 almost works, but it doesn't quite. So I'm going to... d5 might be bad. No, but wait, then he has knight takes d5, and he takes the rook. I'm dumb. Yeah, knight d5 is definitely a bad move. I'm still thinking about queen a5. Honestly, maybe queen b6. Just saying, hey, I'm going to play e3 next move. I'd love to prevent him from castling, but... does not look easy. Bishop f5, h3. I'm going to play bishop f5. Might be wrong, but I don't see what the big threat is. Even if he gets bishop c4. Like, I don't see what the big idea. I don't see what the big idea is. Because, like, knight b4 followed by e3 now looks, like, pretty concrete. And if he castles, then queen a5. Maybe queen a5 in any situation, but... Again, per usual, it's not immediately obvious to me. That's both the best part and the worst part about these positions, is that even when you're winning, it's not obvious. And so you have to, like, really fight. Alexander the Great? Yes. Next question. Next question. These positions are just so scary, like, visually. So scary. The problem is also if I ever go knight b4, he does get bishop b5. Although I think I just play king f8 and say, nice try. That looks reasonable. And then bishop c4 in that position, it might be well met by d5. Maybe even e3. Yeah, no, e3 works there too. This is such a weird position. It's move 10. Look how much has already happened in 10 moves. That's why this is such a good line. It's because you get out of normal chess immediately. There's never sane chess. The chess starts insane. Like, normally you have to play a few moves of sane chess before you get onto the good stuff, but here you just skip that step entirely. You just go directly. Brain cells don't deserve to exist. Yeah. I don't know what he's calculating. You either have to castle, you might have to go like... Whoa. Okay, that's what he was calculating. We figured out what he was calculating. If I play this, he's going to take with knight, which I guess is the big idea. If I play bishop takes, does he take on f6? I think bishop takes is met by takes on f6. But then I take on g5. I can't decide if it's a great move or not. I don't think it is. I am thoroughly unconvinced. Well, now we know why he spent so long calculating. Goodness gracious. I have half mind to just sack the rook. Just go like knight takes. Knight takes, bishop takes, and just say, here, take the rook, I don't need it. And then go like knight here or something. I don't think that's good, but I want to. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Bishop takes. He would have to take the rook. And that transposes. Don't spend too much time thinking. Too late. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Pawn takes, knight takes. Looks bad. Don't want to play that. Can I do something goofy like this? No, this still looks best. And then knight here. And if bishop here, I go bishop takes, pawn takes, and then go takes here. I'm giving him the rook. I'm giving him the rook. I think the tactical complications work out better for me than for him. I don't know. If the rook sack works, it's a terrible move. But if it doesn't work, then it's a great move. It's a quantum good move. How good it is depends absolutely on whether or not it works out tactically for him. Doesn't feel like it should. He has to go bishop takes here, and then I go bishop takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Goes bishop takes rook. Maybe I just play knight bishop g4 and take this rook. But that looks psychotic. Hmm. 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 So it gets greedy and takes the bishop. Can you get away with that? Okay, this is my plan. So this is an exchange, and if I do what I was originally planning to do, then it's a full rook. I can win my exchange back, but I think he just has enough initiative to compensate. I might have messed up somewhere. I think this wasn't precise. Maybe I just play bishop h6. And I say, okay, now what, tough guy? I'm going to try that. I don't think knight b4 is a good move right now, because after he takes here and takes and like some dumb king move, then I feel like the problem is the open f file goes directly to my king, because he has to go, it's check first, right, is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking check and then king f1 and then he takes. And now if I take there, I'm not super comfortable, even if he does something like this, I'm not super comfortable with the idea of this f file being open directly to my king. Well, you know, sometimes it do be like that. Cristiano. If he castles, I think I just go rook c1. Rook, oh, sorry, rook c8. And I'm not sure if I have comp or not. I think I do. Rook c8. What does he play? Bishop d3? Bishop takes. Queen takes. And the problem is I don't have queen b4. No, but I can play queen a6 in that line. No, if he ever plays bishop d3, no, I can't take on. Well, I mean, time's now a factor, but... Ooh, I don't like that move. Maybe it's good, but it doesn't feel good. Am I dumb? Why can't I just play check? Check looks wonderful. No way. If I go here, he plays at g4. That's his whole point. I really want to play e5. That's what I want to do. You know, it's my chess game. I'll lose if I want to. Take my knight. I don't want it. I have no idea if that's a good move or not, but it's a very funny move. Stupid. Ah, I lost on time when he had a second on the clock. Here and I win, yeah? Ah. Tragic. Only like 2,500. My puzzles are probably my weakest aspect of chess. Hey, I'm back to the palindrome number. I am completely rating neutral. Ah, I deserve that, to be fair. You know, I just had a realization. I have not eaten anything today since breakfast. It is 9 p.m. and the last time I ate was breakfast. You know what? I think that explains some stuff. Oh, I did terrible. Heart rate monitor game of chess. Horrible. Just absolutely terrible game of chess. Okay, what should I play? It was not bishop takes. It was rook f8. Man, chess is the worst. Knight takes was better. Well, what about knight takes, bishop takes, bishop h8? Yeah, you know what? This was a better version of what I did. Because see, what I did was the same thing, except now the bishop is being tempoed. Versus if I took with knight here, we have the same position, but because the bishop isn't being tempoed, I'm a tempo up. Which means I get e5 right now. So the tempo makes a big difference. Queen e2, queen e5, c3, e5. e5 is still okay for me. Dory, queen a3. Just keep the pressure on. Knight takes was way too speculative. Okay, what was the way to win this? Not that. Queen a5, king f2, queen b6, king e1. The computer's trying to figure out how to win it too. Give it a second. Guess my puzzle rating? 2,500. Queen b4. It's saying queen b4 check, and then after king f2, put the king on f7, king on e7. Not sure why. Either way, d5 was not it. And then now I just have 2 seconds on the clock, so moves don't really matter. Bishop g6, and you concretely lose your queen. 4,700. Nice. Nihal Sarin in my Twitch chat? Can we get a pog? Okay, wait. Where's Fubs? Yes. Okay, Fubs, send me another challenge. Sorry, I didn't know it was you last time. Nihal Sarin in my Twitch chat. That's just crazy, man. I would have trouble believing that if I weren't fully confident that people never lie on the internet. Because people don't ever lie on the internet. That's a very important part of being on the internet. Karpati Liviv, thanks so much for the follow. Or is it Iviv? Is that an I or a... Nice. Usually, I think you go d6 before you castle in most lines. Okay. That's a bit speculative. Wow, you just want my queen side, don't you? Well, you know what? Knock yourself out, buddy. You know what? Knock yourself out. Nihal Sarin isn't famous or relevant? I think Nihal Sarin's pretty relevant. I mean, in the micro-celebrity way, where you're relevant for a small group of committed people. Can you, like, not try to kill me, Mr. Josh? I mean, I'll just play this position. This looks fantastic. Ah, okay. Well, that's still pretty cool. Because you share a name with a very strong chess player. Because once again, people never lie on the internet. So, for example, I'm Richard Rapport. I am Richard Rapport, for real, for real. Let's boot the pony. He can fill in for report unless he, in case he gets lost. Absolutely, yeah. That's the plan. I like this move, but I don't know if it's good. That's the plan. I'm a genetically modified, genetically engineered stunt double. Because you know, as is common knowledge at this point, Richard Rapport is planning on pivoting from chess, from high level chess, into a career in action movies. And so he needs someone to, you know, fill in for him if something like if someone tries to do something dangerous. You know? Again, this is all public knowledge. I don't expect that this is that exciting, but I heard that somewhere actually. Of course you did, because it's the truth, because it's a factual statement. It might have been here, of course. No, because there's no source in the entire Solarverse as reliable for news as twitch.tv/alchemy and blobfish, right? So I will happily give an exchange if you want to go for that. Maybe I shouldn't, but my intention tonight here is like check. Maybe I just play like queen d3 or something, and I get 2 pieces. Well, I'm convinced. See? Boom. Now you understand why I took debate in high school. Now you understand why I took debate in high school. It's such a useful life skill to be able to just convince people of things. Because that's how simple it is, really. Everyone thinks it's like, oh, no, but no, it's just you say stuff, and then it's true. A little annoying. Well, let's start with this check, because now that the knight's not guarding that square, this is a very, very powerful knight. It's the best piece on the board, if you ask me. Which I always make it a rule to ask me, because sometimes you just need the opinion of a real one, you know? And look at this knight on d3, it just wins. And see, now he has to kind of like beg me to get rid of it. Which maybe I shouldn't do. But I'm going to. Which, I have a reason for this. I wanna. My other reason is because I feel like... Well, first off, I feel like I can take on b4. Does he have a meaningful check? No, he does not. This is very greedy. I shouldn't be doing this. Very greedy. I'll take it. Yum, yum, yum. Pawn. Disgustingly greedy, but... Hey, RLO7, welcome back. Always take free pawns. Sigma rule 1, always take free pawns. Sigma rule 2, always take not free pawns. Yeah, Sigma rule 1, take all undefended pawns. Sigma rule 2 is take all defended pawns. And so, between the two of them, you just end up with take all pawns. Which, to be fair, is correct. That's kind of mean. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. I wouldn't call it tactically dependent upon free, though. Rule 3. Sigma rule 3. Always take tactically defended pawns. There you go. Boom. If he decides to do chess boxing and Genti, then you could fill in for him. Yeah, that makes sense, because I'm like a full head taller than Report is. I guess I'm not a Sigma. I need to change. Yes, you do. Yeah, Dutch has been going pretty well for me. I haven't been playing perfectly, but I'm not sure what I should have played. Maybe a d5. No, d5 is bad here. Once e5? What happens if it takes? Rule 1. Always take all knight fd. Oh. Rule 1. Remember, guys, I forgot rule 3. Rule 3. Always take all tactically defended pawns. That's a tactically defended pawn. Because the bishop attacks the undefended knight on c3. And so you have to go like f4 or something. And then knight c6. And it's free. And then you play like bishop b2. And I take it. And boom. Now I must be better. Okay, so e5 worked immediately because of the weakness of the knight on b3. That makes sense. Knight b7, queen d3, e5, but I went about it this way. I was expecting this. This isn't playable, is it? Rule 1. Die. Okay. Yeah. Another technically defended pawn. Yeah, so this would be very bad if you went for that. So yeah, you went knight g5, knight e5, h6. And then maybe I was wrong here, but my philosophy was like, hey, if you wanted to try something goofy like this, be my guest. What? Wow. Talk about, look at that, queen sack. Well, it's a rapid game, not a blitz game, but yeah, same difference. And then I take on b4 and I take on b. So I could just sack my queen. I didn't see that because I'm not good at chess. My plan was just queen takes d2, and then like after something, just bishop. I was going to play bishop c4 probably, and play this, which is also very winning. So you can't afford that. In which in this position now I get knight d3 and knight takes, queen d5, rook f d8. Right, and after knight takes, I take with pawn, and you try to do some funny queen stuff. I think this happens at some point, which looks very bad. So I just took, though, and I was like, okay, this can't be worse for me. Again, my chess is pretty poor this evening, but if we play rook takes b7, my plan was rook a to b8 or d8. I hadn't decided yet. Evidently, both of those are trash, and I should play rook f7, but, you know. Anyway. Okay, d, then b6. And then queen c6 was a cool idea, but it did not work. You had to play like a rook b1 first. But rook b1 is so slow, because I get queen d3. And this is... You might be able to hold this rook endgame. It's possible that this is a holding rook endgame, but you are going to suffer. You are going to suffer. GG's. Yeah, yeah. There were some weird tactics there. Is this b4 a move? This looks weird. But yeah, no, e5 is... Yeah, no chance. That's not true. That's not true. Especially in the state I'm in right now, that's absolutely not true. I've had one sandwich this morning for breakfast, and then I've gone all day without eating anything else. I am not in... And also my room is, like, boiling. Because I forgot to turn down the floor heating. So now I'm dying of heat stroke. You absolutely have a chance. Live commentary? You got it. I'll probably end up ending stream early tonight because I'm just like, I feel awful. e4, e5, knight f3. Okay, now the all-important question. We've got a Philidor. It's like knight d7 or something, knight c6. Bishop g4. Okay, so is there takes and then just takes queen and then you play a better endgame? Or am I dumb? Unless it's some exotic pawn sack. Or maybe I've... Ooh. C3 is weird. Turns into some sort of off-kilter Ponziani. I kind of like it, though. It's interesting. Knight C6. I'm guessing just bishop C4. It's very in line with what the position, what Cormac's trying to go for. D5. Ooh, I kind of disagree with D5. We'll see if I'm right, but I kind of disagree with that. Cormac has the bishops, and now he's made his light squared bishop, which is the one piece he has. Remember, it's light squared bishop for a knight, so he has turned this bishop into the worst piece on the board. And while there is a lot of center, I don't think there's that much center, especially with f5 being relatively difficult to stop medium term. Preventing the knight from jumping in. Queen d7, bishop e7, knight a6 or something. In this position, I was honestly shocked that knight g6 was played. I was thinking like this. Or maybe here and I trade off the other bishop as well. G6 followed by some f5 ideas looked like the plan to me. But we'll see what Black's plan is. I don't like d5 though. Bishop d3, alright. h6. h6, knight f6, bishop e7. Seems a little passive. h6 feels wrong because of f5 being the idea, and sometimes we want to play g6 for that. But again, f5 just looks like the idea to me. Maybe it's not, but it really looks it. But h6 is pretty clearly just trying to play bishop f6. Which makes sense because white doesn't really have a super strong doesn't have super strong pieces right now. Now, the reason I'm a little bit skeptical of what Black's doing is because Black is playing a lot of moves with the same piece or two. And so the problem is I feel like b4 c5 is going to come at some point relatively quickly. Or b4 b5 c5 and just a lot of active play on the queen side, because to me this is starting to feel like a King's Indian. And so I'm thinking of King's Indian ideas for both sides. So like in this position, a b4 makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if it's the best move, but it makes a lot of sense. Hey, Chesterfield, welcome back. Yeah, Cormac's on the same boat. That's why I didn't like this whole knight maneuver, is because it just felt wrong. It's too solid. This is not a Rui Lopez or a Fildor anymore. This is a King's Indian. Honestly, I'd be thinking a4 maybe. I don't even know if that's a good move. But how are you? A little weird. My room is too warm and I haven't eaten like at all today because I forgot. And so I'm feeling a little off. But other than that, I'm doing good. Went ELO neutral. So we lost exactly the same amount of ELO as we gained. Which is fun. Saying I didn't eat anything yesterday. It's not good, man. At least for me, I need to eat. It's a problem. So I'm probably going to end up ending stream somewhat early just because of that. Just because I feel terrible. So I'm probably going to end closer to 10 p.m. than 11 p.m. Maybe see if I can get something small, because I don't want to eat much before I go to bed, but it's just horrible. Eat something small and then see if I can work on stream music a little bit. Cool off. We've had a very mild winter this year. Now that it's remained mild, my gaming PC is doing a very good job acting as a space heater, an impromptu space heater. Man, I got beat up by a man with 0 carbs. Okay, now listen. It's not quite that fair. You look like that kid from 2.5 Men. Okay, give me a second. I've never seen 2.5 Men. Which one? Oh, the kid? Man. Okay, I got you. He does look like pictures of me when I was younger, though. So Angus T. Jones. You know what? Fair enough. I can see it. You know what? Fair enough. That's I can see it. Appreciate that. Man, I've said this before. I feel like, wait, let me find a good picture that gives a good comparison. Because it's difficult to find a good picture. All these are like paparazzi shots. So like this is what we're thinking, right? I see it a little bit. Anyway, I've said this before. If I could manage to lose a little weight, which, I mean, that's always the kicker, right? If I can manage to lose a little weight, I think I could be like an 8. You know what I mean? Give me an F4. Ooh. H4? H4 feels weird. Why wasn't F4 a good move? Maybe because it cleared up the E5 square? I don't know. I don't know. Keeping the position closed with the bishop pair seems suspicious. Unless there's an alternate plan. But now, how do you break through as white? Unless you're trying to close down the king side so you can win on the queen side. You know what? That might be the case. Fair enough. Yeah, but I could see that. A5 is a very good move. Because now, no matter what you do, I get the A file as the black pieces here. Right? That's the kicker. It's a very good move. See, this is why I disagree with closing down the king side. It's like, if you can win on every part of the board, win on every part of the board. So, like, F4 here made a lot more sense to me. Unless there was some weird knight H4 at the end. I don't think there was. I don't think so. Bishop A3. Now this is going to be a forever weakness. And both sides have pretty poor bishops, but... C takes, and yeah, this is just... Now I just put my rooks on these dark squares, and... Maybe the knight can reroute to, like, B5. Maybe that's the plan. Okay, right, going to the 7th rank. Rook B8, right. Not giving up control over the open file. I think the knight can reroute to B5, and that might be the way to play as white, but you would have to... In that case, Rook B1 is a little weird. Immediate knight C3 makes more sense to me. Now takes, push, and now knight C3. I mean, this is fine too. I guess the boys you trade off a pair of rooks. Usually trading off a pair of rooks is good for the side trying to draw, right? Yeah, and the problem now is the knight. I guess this is the plan, yeah? It looks ugly. Bishop D8. And now knight here. I can try to bring the knight to B6. If you get the knight on B6 and then like play rook A7, then it's going to be real difficult. Guess same idea. Then it's going to be very difficult to actually prove any meaningful advantage here. Maybe play knight A7 and then maybe play knight A7 instead. It's going to be very difficult to do anything in this position as either side. Especially if he gets liquidated down to opposite colored bishops. Neither king can really get in. The passed pawn is well blockaded. Knight A7. Knight A7, I assume the intention is to play C6. Ooh, that's a good move. Knight takes, pawn takes. Ooh. Maybe F6. I was thinking takes and bishop F6, and then you bring the bishop to, like, D4 or something. But that doesn't work either. This is very passive now for black. I guess the argument is that white doesn't have a way to break through. Which, if correct, good on him, but he's betting a lot on that. Because he's going to have to sit and be passive for the rest of his life. No, maybe you go bishop e2, and you try to attack h4, and if he pushes, then you take, and now you've created a backwards pawn on f6. That looks right. Bishop e2, because you can't play king g6, which is what you'd want to play. And so g6 is well met by takes, takes. And I feel like white's making progress. Mm-hmm. And look, now this bishop gets to a more active post, maybe like d7 or something. So it's still permanently guard. I guess he can never play rook b8 though, so you don't need to. I don't think this is a draw anymore. I think it's too little too late. Again, now see the problem with this position is the fact that black is outrageously passive. Because see now, like rook a8, I can just play bishop c8. Rook a6, also completely reasonable. Bishop c8 was to me the most clean move. Bishop c8, I'm just going to play bishop c8. Okay, fine. This is what I mean. The problem is that the rook was backwards and you have this protected passed pawn all the way up there, preventing black from doing anything. Taking the knight here was, I think, the big mistake. I think before that it was still holdable. Bishop c6 is more cleaner. No, but bishop c8's prettier. Bishop c8 is prettier. I want pretty chess. But you're right, bishop c6 is cleaner. You don't need to go bishop d7, you can just take the rook. Unless you're saying he plays rook c8, in which case, I don't know, man, you just promote. Takes with pawn is interesting. It's preventing him from... I don't know, I don't agree with takes with pawn. I think you should have taken with king. Rook c8, bishop b7. I mean, yeah, sure, but he was just going to take on a7. So. Don't understand this move either. Like Cormac's making his life harder rather than easier. But I guess the point is it's quickly going to become Took Swung. Bishop b5, and then you push the h pawn. That makes some sense. Don't understand why that move was necessary, though. I guess to prevent the passer. And now, quite simply, black is running out of moves, and white can just push. Bishop c8. Rook b7. Yeah, it all wins, but... And the bishop does a very good job guarding all the pawns. I'm taking on e7 to bh. But I wouldn't have wanted to deal with it. Hey, I'm of the opinion that you should never resign. I don't agree with the way Cormac's winning this. It's winning, but he has a minute on the clock and he's making his position way harder to play than it needs to be. Like, again, it's obviously still winning. But there's so much, like, thinking that has to happen now. You know what I mean? It's not a brainless win. But honestly, if I were black, I wouldn't have even played this. I would have pushed and then threatened to push c4. Which is a meaningless threat, but it's a threat nonetheless. He's doing a similar thing, though. He's going to push c4 now. But I think he wasted tempo by playing king e5 followed by d5. Like in this position, you play c4. You push first. You go here, and then you play c4. Your opponent has a minute on the clock. You know, it's winning, but... Yeah. Hello, Prakar. We're chilling. We're looking at a viewer game. Yeah, it's GG's. See, this is when you pre-move queen d8, queen d1, right? Not sure what mate Cormac is going for, but... Okay, here we go. What is Cormac doing? White's very nervous. It's very confusing. He's like even in my bad state, like it's not difficult to find many different checkmates for White here. Like look at, like, see what I mean? Like why? Why? As black, you start pre-moving here. One second, just pre-moving rolling mate. Yeah, there's a lot of very simple ways to checkmate. I mean, it's still winning. 8 seconds is definitely enough time in this position. I mean, I say that, but he's really... What is Cormac doing? Okay, now it's mate. Actually, I go here and then go here. It's mate now, but... What is Cormac doing? Are you still sure this is trolling before mating, Fubs? Cormac, what was that? You had mate in like 3. Back when you had like 30 seconds. This. Like literally that. First, that was... So you had ladder mate there. And then you have this pattern as well in this position. Not that one, sorry. You have this pattern as well. Which I forget what this one's called. The one where you like use the queen and rook and like take steps. You know what I mean? And then like, okay, in this position, sure. But like, why are you moving the king? Like, we know this stuff, you know? It's... You play queen here, and then you go here, and then you checkmate him. No, I've seen worse 2000s. I've been a worse 2000. That's not true. That don't... Like, I'm just confused of why this wasn't, like, a pre-movable position. You know what I mean? Because Cormac's better at bullet than I am, by a lot. And, like, better at blitz. Weird. Weird. Okay, let's figure out the rest of the game. That was a weird game of chess. I have a lot to say. No, actually scared of Cromnet yesterday getting 200 Elon bullet. You shouldn't be. Trust me, no one's taking him seriously. Oh my gosh. Sure. C3. C3 is interesting. I was thinking just takes. My logic was just takes and what's his next move, right? Maybe. I was just thinking D takes, and I'm not sure what you play here. If you take the knight, then I just play queen takes, and this is probably better for me. And if you don't take the knight, if you take the pawn, then I take queen, and this is definitely better for me. Because I win the pawn. And if you play, I guess knight c6 is what you'd have to play, and then it's just a pawn sack. I don't agree that the odds are 0, because I don't think the odds for basically anything are literally 0, but I really think that if you want to, like, call that, if you want to accuse a car of cheat, you better have some ridiculously good receipts. And all of his receipts are, he's good at bullet. His receipts are just, hey, the guy got a number of wins against people rated a couple hundred elo lower than him, a lot of which are flagging, because Hikaru is also the best at flagging in the world. Right? It's not just a chess thing. Hikaru is also ridiculously good at flagging people. Like, out of his crazy win streaks of like 50, 70 games, how many of those did he flag? Or does his opponent flag? Right? F3, queen F3. Anyway, so C3 is a little weird to me, but okay. Now, this move I didn't like. This I didn't care for. I was really trying to justify bishop c4 in my head. Because I was just thinking, okay, what exactly is he doing? See, you have the bishop pair in this position, so I didn't like closing the board when you had the bishop pair. Maybe it's not bad, but it just seems counter-principled. Bishop e3 is probably even better, but I was thinking just bishop c4 with concrete threats. And like queen f6, honestly, you could even take. And then play d5. And see, my point here was that you're forcing the knight backwards with the knight on f6, because I don't think the knight wants to be on f6. Now, the point is he played knight f6 later, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But this I disagree with as well from your opponent's perspective. This, I think, is definitely wrong. Like, g6, you should be playing for f5. This is basically a King's Indian. Okay, a6, bishop d3. Castles. Knight f6, b4, bishop d7, queen h3, queen h7, knight takes, knight takes, a4, castles. g3 is interesting. I like it. You did allow a5, though. Now, my issue is less that you allowed a5 and more h4. Okay, so question 1 is why can't you play this? And now you're winning on both sides of the board. You got more space on the king side, queen side, and center. And I'm like, okay. And now you play h4. And like his pieces are terrible. I mean, you have pretty bad pieces too, but I don't know. It looked better. I didn't like h4 because I feel like h4 closes the board where you don't have more space on the side of the board where you could have been winning. And this is good. Then he gave you one of the knights. And now it's just completely winning. The best possible opposite color bishop endgame. h3, g4. h3, g4 I also think is probably better. h4 looks weird. I don't agree with h4. h3, g4 is an interesting idea. I don't like it just because I feel like you give the square knight too many squares to get in. That's the only reason I wouldn't do that. That's why I like h4, is because you're not giving the knight any way to enter. After f4? Oh. Oh yeah, for sure. In this position, for sure. See, that's what I mean. And now you have more space on the queen side, the center, and the king side. Yeah, this is even better. You're right, I like this more. And it's like, okay. You know, after h4, you've just shut down the king side. And it's like, well, yeah. But now, well, first he can play bishop d2, which is what he should have played. But ignoring bishop d2, it's like, okay, you've shut down the side of the board. And now you have an advantage here and here. But you could have had an advantage in all 3 places instead of 2 out of 3. But okay, he lets you take full control over the open file, and then now it's just dead. 6, knight b5, king h3, knight 7, f4, and it's just completely winning. This is completely winning. See, I'm a psychopath, so I wanted to play bishop c8. I wanted to play bishop c8 here. And then after rook takes, your queen, rook takes, like bishop here, and then you just play like rook c8. Even in this position, if he tries c4, then he is a tempo shy and a dollar short. So I'm a psycho, so I wanted to play bishop c8. Bishop d7 is probably objectively better. Bishop c8's just pretty. It's just pretty. I just like it. Anyway, rook c6, king h6, bishop d7. And now you're up. Now, first off, I don't like that he took with pawn. This entire endgame, I was very confused with the way you play. It seemed very unpractical. Taking with pawn seemed bizarre because you just gave him a passer for no reason. Like, take with king. What's he going to do? Take this and let you take on c7? I would love for him to do that. Like, we're doing this and just push? Sure. So just takes with king. First thing was like, don't give him another passer. Then b6. Like, I know it's technically best. I don't care. Why? Why? Rook a8. Where does he move? You know? Like, he's out of moves after rook a8. h5, and you just push him. b6, you gave him another passer. And now you have to think about so many of these pawns. It's weird. And now I disagree with this move on the part of your opponent. I think he should have played e3 and tried to play c4 and really made you suffer. But he didn't. He made things a little bit easier than they needed to be. Okay, sure, sacking the bishop's fine. And then here, we're not going to talk about this. We are not going to talk about this. What on? Yeah, part never happened? No, it never happened. In this position, he resigned. Which makes sense, because it's like mate in 4. I send challenge? Go for it. I'm going to close queue and then leave fairly soon because I am just... Okay, let me just send you a challenge. Okay, perfect. Ooh, Romania. I know a guy from Romania. The Ross Gambit. Now I'm scared. Because if anyone but a 2300 plays against me, I'm not scared. Now I'm a little scared. What's up, Brad? What's up? It's not a Stafford. If you play knight c6, then it could be Stafford adjacent. But even then, it's not a Stafford because I haven't played d4 or I haven't played e4, and so it's worse than a Stafford. That's why I was a little confused by this, because this is just bad, to my knowledge. Why not checking with pawn? In which position? Vichy versus a billionaire cheater? I can't say I do. Did I just blunder a piece? No, I didn't. No, I did not blunder a piece, guys. What did I do? I intentionally sacrificed a piece for active play against his weakened king. There you go. I'm joking. I didn't blunder anything. I have bishop b3. I have bishop b3. I'm chilling. I have bishop b3, guys. It's fine. He's playing very aggressively with his pawns. White pawn check on h4. In that case, that was probably a best move as well. Again, the moves I was suggesting were just a way of playing the position. In my opinion, there were multiple very good ways of playing that position, which is why I was confused by what happened. This is a very suspicious looking position. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very sussy, as the kids would say. Not pleasant. It didn't look pleasant. I feel it. I felt that. I'm an empath, and so no. Bishop f5. Bishop f5 is was interesting. I've just played really badly this game. Just played really incredibly poorly. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine, Cormac. It's just, you know, some days, right? Some days. Now I'm definitely going for this. Because now if... Ooh. Give me another pawn? Give me another pawn? I can't say I understand this. Again, my pieces are terrible. But... I don't know. Still sus? It's all very much still sus. This is absolutely still a very sus among us position. I want to sack a piece. That's what I want to do. I shouldn't, but I want to. Fine, I won't. Fine, I won't sacrifice a piece. No, no, no. It's just a generally sus position. Setting up for the next game? Oh, yeah, for sure. The funny part is I'm not even setting up for next game because this night is the B1 night. Is it not? There probably was. Bad move? Thank you for telling me after I played it. A2? My plan was King B2. And then King A1. This was my intention. Am I queen trapped? No, it's not. We're fine. We're so fine. We are not fine. That was a terrible game of chess. Well, there you go. I made you feel better, Cormac, by also playing a terrible move. Not just terrible move, terrible game. Terrible game of chess. What the heck was I cooking? Nothing. I was cooking nothing. I was cooking absolutely squat. I thought I was trolling. We both were. Yeah, I missed bishop f5 too. Rook b8. a5. Instead of a5? Or do you mean a4? Rook b8. Let's say queen a4. Rook x b2. Yeah, it looks like there is. Looks like it. Nope, you're right. That works too. I should absolutely have sacked the bishop. I should have absolutely sacked the bishop. Way cooler. But yeah, this is quite bad. Because now I have to play like bishop takes h3, and I have to just let you keep the queen. Which, oof. That's all I gotta say about that one is oof. Oh. So sorry, RLO7. I played such a terrible game of chess. Next time, I'll play better, and it'll be more interesting. Deal? Deal? Yeah, and I'm calling it. I know, shorter stream than normal today, but again, I'm just not feeling it. I really need to remember to eat lunch. That's kind of important to, you know, my physical and mental well-being. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, y'all. Wow, can't even speak. And I will be seeing y'all on Wednesday.